We're looking at red state revenge as Patriots are winning quite literally everywhere. You're going to absolutely love this. We're going to take a look at a whole slew of legislation that's being passed all across the country that's awakening a springtide of faith, family, and freedom. And if you stick with me to the very end of this video, I'll reveal precisely why all of this legislation is happening right now as we speak, and I promise you, you're not going to want to miss the reason. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, so come on in to your Patriot Professor's Den, where I help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, let's give a huge shout out to sponsor this video. That's our good friends over at Virtual Shield. If you're not using what's called a VPN or a virtual private network on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while browsing the internet, then really you are exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. But protecting yourself online has simply never been easier. And to make it even better, our good friends over at Virtual Shield are offering our audience, get this, 50% off for life for all free trial signups. That's right, 50% off for life. So don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Click on that link in the description below and sign up for a free 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. You know, we, of course, we're today experiencing very tumultuous times, both abroad with the war in Ukraine and here at home with an utterly absurd, patently embarrassing excuse for a leader in the White House. But with that said, we do not want to overlook the extraordinary successes going on with the Patriot movement, particularly in red states all across the nation. There has literally been a slew of legislation passed and laws signed of late that are making our nation a far more conservative, patriot-based nation like never before. And that should encourage us to continue on, forge ahead, and fight the good fight for faith, family, and freedom. Let's start in the great state of Arizona because we're seeing a whole host of amazing bills getting signed into law back-to-back there. The Republican Governor Doug Ducey, who admittedly was very, very disappointing in the aftermath of the 2020 election, no question. But that said, he is slowly redeeming himself by signing a whole host of patriot-based bills into law that are absolutely causing the leftist legacy media to go totally unhinged. Check this out. Ducey signed into law yesterday a bill banning transgender athletes from participating in women's sports throughout the state, and another bill banning abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. He also signed into law limits on so-called gender reassignment surgery, requiring that the patient must be of adult age. Britain, interestingly enough, has the same legal requirement now as well for gender reassignment surgery. You have to be an adult. Ducey's also signed into law a bill requiring proof of citizenship in order to vote. This is part of Arizona's election integrity push. A new bill, in fact, expressly states that it is the Arizona legislature that would alone have the power to award presidential electors, not secretaries of state, not even the governor. And that, of course, is simply Arizona legislature recovering its own constitutional function. The Constitution gives sole plenary authority to state legislatures to determine time, place, and manner of elections, not governors, not secretaries of state, not bureaucrats, state legislatures. Some very, very impressive legislation coming out of Arizona. Let's go next to South Dakota, where Governor Kristi Noem has just signed into law a ban on so-called Zuckbucks. This is where Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg poured in tens of millions of dollars into elections across the country to tilt the races to the Democrat candidates. And what Zuckerberg basically did is he bribed state officials by giving them, quote, donations to help cover the election operating costs during the pandemic. And these so-called donations are now banned in the state of South Dakota. Onward to Oklahoma. Governor Kevin Stitt just signed into legislation Oklahoma's own ban on transgender athletes from participating in women's sports. And just so you know, that legislation passed the Oklahoma House by a vote of 79 to 18. Oklahoma has only 18 state representatives opposed to such measures. So way to go, Oklahoma, one of the most conservative states in the union. Let's go over to Kansas, another solid red state. Their state senate there just passed their own bill banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports throughout their state. And we're seeing something similar in the great state of Kentucky. Their Senate just passed a transgender sports ban by a vote of 26-9. Now, Kentucky shamefully has a Democrat governor who has promised to veto the bill, but the legislators have more than enough votes to easily override that bill. So the governor is just prolonging the inevitable. And speaking of that, you're going to love this. A comparable ban was passed overwhelmingly by the state House and Senate in Utah. But their feckless Republican governor, ridiculous Romney rhino by the name of Spencer Cox, he vetoed the bill. Well, that bill was just passed into law by the House and Senate, overwhelmingly overriding this rhino governor's veto. So well done, Utah. Now get rid of that ideological idiot and put a real conservative in the governor's mansion. By the way, how are we doing here? You tired of winning yet? Pretty cool, huh? Sorry, but we've got plenty more to show you, plenty more wins. And by the way, how do you like this shirt? I love this one. What, me rattled, right? Well, you can get your own. And you can also be supporting this channel by just clicking on the link below and checking out our awesome merch store. We've got our awesome line of Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, as well as our brand new Freedom Trucker shirts. We've got rhino hunting shirts, all just by clicking on the link below. Your purchases will be spreading Patriot hope, as well as supporting this channel. So make sure to click on that link below. Go to store.turleytalks.com. That is store.turleytalks.com. And a huge thank you for that. In the great state of Idaho, their governor just signed a Texas-style abortion law in their state. What Texas passed several months back is what's commonly called a heartbeat bill. And by the way, Texas is not alone in that. Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, a number of states have passed heartbeat laws. But what the Texas law did is, and the Idaho law is doing, is they allow citizens to sue abortion providers who violate the law banning abortions after about 6 weeks when a heartbeat is detected. And that citizen-based litigation shields the state from being sued. Because up until this point, abortion laws have required the state to enforce their abortion bans, which Planned Parenthood has effectively stopped by suing the states. Now, Planned Parenthood would have to theoretically sue the entire population of Texas, or in this case, Idaho, to keep them from enforcing the abortion ban, which, of course, is impossible. So it was a brilliant move on the part of Texas. It's been upheld by the Supreme Court thus far, and now it's being duplicated by other red states like Idaho. And we also have a number of constitutional carry laws being enacted as well. Constitutional carry involves laws that expressly state a citizen's right to, yes, literally bear arms. There's no permit required to possess a concealed handgun. In other words, the FBI background checks when buying a gun are enough. If you can purchase a gun, you can carry it, period. And so over into the state of Indiana, they're now officially the 24th state to institute a constitutional carry law. That bill was just signed into law. And in Georgia, the state house has just overwhelmingly passed constitutional carry, and that's expected to be signed into law very soon by Governor Brian Kemp there. In Alabama, the state house has just passed a ban on teaching critical race theory in all Alabama public schools. And of course, to top it all off, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the monumental parental rights bill that has caused the woke ultra-leftist ideologues over at Disney to become utterly unhinged. So what's going on here? Why are we winning here? You know, this wasn't supposed to happen. With the supposed defeat of the Don in 2020, the nation was supposed to go back to the happy-clappy leftist days of the Obama era. We're supposed to become an Obama nation once again, or as I prefer, an abomination, right? What happened? What's going on? Well, in a word, you. You happened. You are the heart of this revolt against all things woke. You are the heroes who have refused to sit idly by as our supposed representatives turned into despotic tyrants hell-bent on crushing the very values of faith, family, and freedom that have made our nation the beacon of hope for countless lives all across the globe. You're the ones who are rising up and declaring for all the world to hear that we are free men, and free men will not be ruled. Oh, I can get into a fancy schmancy theory on what's happening here We've seen the rise of sanctuary states, which is true, or the data that we have that shows that wokeism actually divides the left while uniting the right and all that, which is true. But in the end, none of that matters if there weren't you. If you, the patriots of our nation and the world, if you didn't rise up and make your voice heard, if you didn't demand more from your representatives, if you didn't show up to those school board meetings, if you didn't vote and volunteer, then none of this would be happening. So well done, good and faithful. Now it's time to make sure that this is just the beginning. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how woke Disney is literally about to implode. You are not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.